welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing this really interesting makeup look, and honestly I'm not sure what to call it. I don't even know what I'm going to title the video when I post it. And I just sat down I think a couple days ago and I just started doing my makeup because I kind of just needed to relieve some stress. I'm not like super stressed out. It was just one of those days where you kind of feel not like yourself, and I just wanted to do makeup. And then I came up with this look, and I didn't film it, but I took a bunch of pictures and I posted it on Instagram, and I have a mass amount of requests to make a video for this. I didn't realize that you guys would want a tutorial on something so weird, but I figured Halloween is coming along really soon, and maybe you guys could use this look for like a witch costume or something creepy. I don't know, it's still like glamorous and very pretty, but it's really dark and like creepy in a way. But anyways, let's get into this. I also wanted to make this a talk through because I feel like I haven't done a talk through tutorial in so long. Honestly, I don't remember the last time that I did a talk through. I've been doing voiceovers for months now, ever since the NYX Face Awards started. So I just really need to talk to you guys, you know? So first I'm actually going to start with my face. I usually start with my eyes, but for some reason I want to start with my face just to have a clean and structured canvas for this look. So first I'm going in with the Dermalogica Hydrablur primer. Dermalogica actually sent me their whole line of skincare. I think it's their whole line. I am loving it so far, and I might make a video about it and like how I use the whole line. But so far it's been doing me really good. I do have one huge zit on my cheek, but honestly I think I broke out because I usually shave the peach fuzz off of my mustache. I know that's kind of embarrassing, but that's what I do to keep a smooth face. And I actually shaved a little bit further than I normally do, and I think that broke me out, so I will not be doing that again. Next I'm going to go in with my HourGlass Vanishing, what's this called? Vanish Foundation Stick in Bisque, and I'm actually going to use the Tartiest Oval 8 brush. I haven't used this in a long time, and I actually used these two when I first did this look, and the combination of these two are literally magical. Like, it is so soothing to put this on my face. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see the full effect. And I am putting a lot of this on, kind of, just because I want to be, I just really want to be extra covered right now. Do you ever just feel like being extra high coverage sometimes? I know a lot of people don't really wear foundation like often, but I mean neither do I, but some days I'm just like, oh my god, I just need to hide every single flaw because I just can't right now. Like, for those of you who have kept up with if you've been a subscriber for a while, you'll know that the artist brushes, like these brushes, are not my favorite, except for I really enjoy this one. And I feel like I just really underrated this one and like the other foundation sizes, because this and stick foundations literally are so great together. I don't know why I don't use it more often. I don't really like to use this brush and liquid foundations as much, just because I like to use my beauty blender. But if you are wondering about these brushes, because I get a lot of questions on these brushes, if you use stick foundations pretty often, then yes, I would recommend this brush only. I don't like any of the other artist brushes, but the foundation brushes are amazing. See how nicely that covers? I feel like that foundation is very underrated. I've heard a lot of bad reviews about it, but I honestly love it. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium. And with my damp beauty blender, I'm just going to put that only on my dark circles. This is a shade too dark for me, so I like to use darker concealers to hide my dark circles. Concealers that are like skin tone or a little bit darker, a little bit oranger, cover up dark circles very well, and then if you go over it with a lighter concealer, it will highlight perfectly. And then with the same concealer in the shade Light, I'm just going to highlight the high points of my face. And then to set my face, I'm gonna go in with the COVERALL, or the Wet n Wild COVERALL Pressed Powder in Fair. Just smoothing out the creased areas first, dipping my sponge into it, and then going straight under my eyes. And then I'm just gonna hit any areas that crease very easily, like my smile lines. And then I'm just gonna take a big powder brush. This is the big powder brush from the Vanity Planet palette makeup brush set. And I'm just going to take the same powder and pat it all over my face. Now with the Bahama bronzer by TheBalm, I'm actually gonna take the same brush and just warm up the outsides of my face, and then I will go in with a smaller brush from the same brush set and chisel out my cheekbones a little bit more. Now I'm just going to take that same powder in my beauty blender and just cut my cheekbones a little bit, or a lot of it. Now just keep in mind that this is a totally unrealistic makeup, I mean, not unrealistic, but this is a very dramatic makeup look and you probably won't be wearing this on a daily basis, so I'm going all out on the face, just let you know. Then with the Balm DownBoy blush and the same brush that I used for contouring, I'm just going to warm up the apples of my cheeks. Now I'm just going to brush away that baking. And now for highlight, I want it to be very intense, so I'm using the Gerard Cosmetics Star Powders in Grace. And then I'm just gonna set my face really quick so nothing moves while I'm doing my eyes or lips or brows. I'm taking the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray, and I'm just going to spray that everywhere. Now for brows, I'm gonna be using, of course, my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Brunette, because I want this brow to be very intense. So it's gonna look a little bit weird without eye makeup, but you'll just have to wait and see. Now I'm just going to carve my brow out with that same concealer that I was using before. Now, starting with eyes, I am going to be using the Manny MUA and Makeup Geek palette. I did already use this in my no brushes makeup challenge, but I feel like that wasn't really a tutorial. I feel like it was just for fun, and I didn't really do my best ability with using this palette, so I really wanted to do something actually good with this palette, because this is like one of my favorite palettes. I'm gonna be honest, all the colors are so beautiful. And this red is just so awesome. Like, it's so easy to work with. First, I'm going to start with this nude color, and I'm going to tap that all over the lid using the Luxie 239 brush. And then I'm going to transition between these two colors right here into my crease, starting with the lighter color and then moving on to the darker color. And for the fluffy brush, I'm just using a brush from Iconic London. It doesn't have a name on it. I'm guessing it's just the fluffy crease brush because that's what it looks like. So first starting with the lighter color and just roughly putting that in my crease all over. And then moving on to the darker color. And that's basically all I'm gonna do on the outer portion of the eye. Now all the attention will go to the inner crease part. Then I'm gonna go in with the, sorry if I'm looking at the viewfinder, if that annoys you. I'm just making sure that this palette is staying in focus while I talk, so excuse me. But I'm going in with the red shade right here, which is so easy to blend out and work with, which is so hard to find with red eyeshadows. Trust me, usually red eyeshadows are the hardest to blend out. I'm just gonna take that same fluffy brush and work it on the inner part of my crease. And I'm also going to bring it all the way up to my brow bone. Next, with the same Luxie brush that I used before, I'm gonna go in with this dark plum shade and work it on the very inner part of my crease, not bringing it all the way up to my brow bone, but just really focusing it on the crease part. And then taking a very, very small concealer brush, I'm going to take this beautiful duochrome blue shadow right here and work it kind of in the same area as the dark plum shade, but just a little bit smaller of a space, if that makes sense. Now we're going to take some concealer and a very small concealer brush and clean up our lids on the inner portion and then blend it out into the shadows on the outer half of my eye. And then taking this icy shade right here, I'm going to put this on my brow bone, on the cleaned up part of the lid, and on the inner tear duct. And now with this Tartiest clay paint liner, I literally cannot pronounce the name, so I will write it on the screen. But I'm just going to do a thin but long wing, and then also do a pointed inner corner. And I'm going to be using the Sigma Winged Liner Brush E06. And then I'm going to coat my lashes with the TheBalm Mad Lash Mascara, the Empress Lashes by Iris Beauty. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to take the plum color again and smudge out the eyeliner a little bit. And once I get to the inner corner, I'm going to create another wing like right below this corner. And then with a little fluffy brush, I'm going to take the red shadow and smudge everything out. And then with that shimmery white color that we used before, I'm going to put it in between the 2 points. And then I'm going to coat my lower lashes with the same mascara. And then for lips, I'm going to put on the Ciate London Liquid Velvet in Voodoo. And then I'm going to take that Insomnia pigment from the palette and put it on the center of my lips. And that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's a little bit different, or a lot different than the normal tutorials that I do, but you guys asked for it on my Instagram, And so I did it, and I always feel so bad about doing a look and not filming it in the first place. I just never know if you guys want to see looks like this, because I feel like everyone prefers when I do more natural or like everyday wearable looks. But if you want me to keep doing more looks like this, something where I just kind of let out my creativity and do whatever, let me know. And yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.